Well, what's my favorite beverage? The answer lies in this cup. I'm having a cup of coffee, and yes, coffee. I live for coffee. So my first memory of coffee is, while still in school during the board exams, when my mother used to pinto coffee at home and give it to me while I used to do my revision. But those days, she wouldn't. I mean, coffee was like ration during exam times because they said, daily intake of coffee is not good, and I was kind of like waiting to grow up when I could just have cups of coffee. But I don't have more than 2 cups of coffee a day because one should not OD on caffeine. But I love that paint hour coffee, which they used to call Desi Espresso. And that continues to remain my early morning staple because after my workout, I have to have that paint hour coffee. But my second cup is usually a cup of black coffee, cappuccino, a frappuccino, and ice blended mocha shake, depending upon the mood I'm in, where I am. If I've walked, like the other day I walked some 20 kilometers, so I owed myself a frappuccino. I felt it was really nice. It was a warm day as well. So yeah, and what I really like is when I travel, I like to savor the local coffee. Like in Singapore, I love the kopi C. That's coffee with condensed milk and sugar. And while I was in Vienna, so I had, the typical Viennese coffee with sakatote. And while I'm in London, I will have a cappuccino. And I like artisanal coffee shops, because I do have my favorite chains as well, but I like to visit the artisanal coffee shops, cafes as well. So it actually depends, where I am, but I like to savor the local taste. Like my paint hour coffee, I think Brew makes the best paint hour coffee because it's got that nice chicory taste. And a particular brand, actually, I'm pretty easy, but I have my favorites. Like in Delhi, I love the Blue Tokai iced cappuccino. And I even enjoy the cappuccinos and also use the Blue Tokai beans at home. Other than that, I love the coffee bean and tea leaf iced mocha shake. That's the best. And also I have my favorite coffee joints when I'm abroad. So I like Cafe Nero, like the local chains. Other than that, I like to also try the local and the coffee boutiques. Yes, I love coffee. I live for coffee. And do I carry some coffee with me? I carry this Korean premix with me when I am traveling around sometimes, because if I'm on a flight also, sometimes you get terrible coffee on the flight. So these are these Maxim coffee which you see a lot of them in K-dramas. I actually carry those because they're rather simple to make and easy. So what is the thought process when it comes to collaborating with stars and influential people? Because it actually is very, it depends. Usually they are accessible when they have a movie to promote, or they have done something, they have a project and there's something they want to speak about. Or there's an event, but there are many times that you actually want to reach out to them just like that also. That gets a little difficult in this day and age because everything has become, earlier it was very easy to reach out to the star, you message, and they had one manager, you speak to the manager. So there was an accessibility, but now you have to go through, I don't know how many layers. It's just like a ladder. So to reach on top, you have to start from one PR who will then get in touch with the head PR. The head PR will get in touch with the agency will get in touch with another agency, and then comes the manager, then access to the star. So it's kind of like a maze now. So these days it's a little tough, and unless they want to speak to you, they want to feature on your publication, and so that's when you get access. And so it's a lot of hard work, and you can ask anyone who works with the star, behind the scenes also and on the scene also, the journalists. It can be pretty stressful, but it's also very enjoyable, so I'm not negating that. But earlier, back in the day, there were not so many channels, there were not so many people with cameras in the palm of their hand, so you could sit down for a chat. But nowadays, a lot of thought. Your pitches have to be, that's the thing, your pitch has to be so good that they cannot resist it. Like even if they don't have a movie to promote and you just want to have a conversation, your pitch should be such that the person actually wants to sit and speak to you. Yeah. So what attracted me to write, research on K content? Because I started watching Korean content way back in 2015. It's nearly a decade now. And this was when I had an injury in the gym and I was bedridden for a good 6 weeks. So I was really bored stiff of whatever was available, and even these OTT platforms hadn't come then. So it was just your YouTube and the TV and your DVDs that you watched shows and movies and on the movie channels. So I started watching Korean content. But then in mainstream media, it was not a big deal, like hardly like even at work. They would watch me, they would see me watching and saying, are you even understanding what's happening? But I just loved, and I also figured out, between the subtitles and the language, how to maneuver my way around, and then started learning the language also. So I just love the storytelling. I just extremely like the storytelling, and it was also refreshing. And I just love the nuanced way in which the characters, their stories were told, the storylines, the strong feminine gaze, the vulnerable men who also cried. It was just like the perfect dream, So and that's how it began. And then post 2020, once COVID happened and it all blew up, because then everybody was in their homes and, really wanting to watch newer stuff, and it just blew up. What advice would I give is, again, coming back to be authentic, believe in what you do, and there's no shortcut to success. There is really no shortcut to success, because sometimes I have these young reporters and aspiring journalists who, and some just want to get into it because they want to host and do interviews. In our time, it didn't come easily. Like my first TV interview came in after like a really long time, because first you were given small stories. So first you followed and shadowed a senior journalist, then you were given shorter stories to do, then you got bigger stories to do, then they felt that you were confident enough to take it forward, that you sat down and did the interviews. So, you really need to know about the stuff and the beat you are in. It's not like, as I was saying, these days everyone is doing everything. So, like the term influencer, somebody was saying they're even giving you diet hacks. They're also talking about what works. They're also giving cricket commentary. They're also film critics. They're also giving you political statements. It doesn't work like that. Everyone has their speciality, and great if somebody knows everything, but I just feel everyone doesn't know everything. So be authentic and research. It's not that nowadays they have a lot of tools. They have Googlepedia, belong to generation that don't have all that, and they have now ChatGPT, which also helps. But you need to do research. You need to be invested in what you do, really, because you're going to leave a legacy behind. It's your legacy. Your stories are your legacy. And there are a lot of times now I've come across, young people who just feel copy pasting somebody's article, giving their byline. All that doesn't work. There's no shortcut to success. You really have to work hard and be passionate. And sometimes it takes time, because success is not instant. It doesn't happen like this. There's a lot of hard work involved. Luck also plays a factor. But and you really need to be passionate, because that's what I would say. Be passionate. Well, the way everything K-pop, K-drama, K-beauty, K-food is going, it looks it's here to stay, because I was in the UK too. I was just surprised. Everywhere there's a K-pop store, there is Korean food, and it's really thriving, because a few years ago when I was in Australia, I had gone to K-Town. There was no such craze of K-Town. Was just like Koreatown was just like Chinatown, like everyone went, visited. But now there is. Well, I enjoyed spilling the beans on MissKoffeeTales. So here's wishing everyone who tuned in and gave this a listen is all the very best. Be happy, healthy, and continue sipping on to coffee.